What is up, everybody? This is Elevated, and welcome to my very first Valorant video. In this one, we're going to be talking about the sneakiest sniping spots in the game that you can get to using Sage. And we're going to be using Sage for this because of her barrier orb, which gives her the unique ability to actually build terrain and elevate yourself to certain spots that nobody else can get to. There are a few other characters that have movement abilities that can move them up, but Sage is unique in that she can actually stay there for the duration of her wall. So we're going to be using that to actually put ourselves in positions where we can get some maybe clutch early peaks, or even potentially hold sites or retake sites from angles that other people normally wouldn't be able to get to. We're going to be starting on the map Bind. So the first spot that we're going to be looking at is behind the U-Haul, and this is an A site. It's a spot that a lot of people will look at because they're looking at people standing on top of it, maybe a Jet or an Omen. But if you kind of kneel behind on top of your wall, it covers most of your body and makes it hard for people to hit you other than in the head directly. The next spot is fairly similar. We're going to put it behind the boxes in the middle of the A site, and this is going to allow you to maybe peek showers or peek short A by crouching and uncrouching before you rip off a shot using your op or marshal, whatever you prefer to snipe with. The next one is going to be over on B site, and this one requires a little bit of preparation because we are going to be walling on top of the little, the middle box, and we're going to be using the wall to create a barrier so that we do not get shot from hookah while we hold long B. This is probably a better sniping spot if you are trying to single hold the entire area. And here's a similar one in the back of B where you can avoid being shot from long B, but you can snipe directly to hookah and cover most of your body with the wall. You can see we're just using a little bit of a crack there. The next one is also going to be in B, and this is another one of those spots that people will check as they come through the doors, but because we're covering most of our body, using the terrain that people would normally look above, you're going to be able to potentially get a couple shots and still survive. The next spot that we're going to be looking at is if you are attacking towards the B site, you're trying to go through hookah, and sometimes people peek out of the hookah door, and this is not the sneakiest spot in the world, but because of the geometry of the archway, you can actually kind of hide most of your body and potentially get a nice little sneaky spot right there. So the next map, we're going to be moving over to Haven, and this one I have to give a quick shout out to Kefri. I saw him demonstrating this one on his stream, and I thought it was a really cool way to get a quick pick at one of the most common places where people will attack, which is through garage. The next spot is a pretty common spot where people will opt from on C, but if you change the levels by putting a wall here, and you can kind of hide your head using these horns that are actually outside of the map, you can't even interact with them, you might be able to get a quick pick and not even get shot at because people won't be looking so high up in the air. The next spot is right in the middle of C site. It's just behind the boxes in the middle. People will often be peeking to the right of this or even in the back corner, and so they might not expect you to poke your head up above the boxes right in the middle. The next spot is a fairly similar one. It's in the very, very back of B. You're actually behind the wall. It's kind of in the back cubby of B, and you can peek over the boxes and maybe get a headshot of somebody peeking window who's not expecting just your head to peek out from the backside of B. And similarly, you can go a little bit closer to get a slightly more downward angle into the window, again, kind of keeping your body safe from being shot. Now, this spot is kind of interesting. If you're trying to retake B and you have an op, this corner is pretty dangerous for you, but you can kind of abuse the geometry here. These stones that peek out will actually hide your face. You can wallbang through them, but if people can't see you, it's pretty hard to shoot you. So you can also extend this out a little bit by getting higher up on the box, and then you can go through, again, kind of a little geometry peek crack using the wall and the paneling along the wall to create a little window for you to look through it with your op. And this final one on Haven is one of my favorites because if you go up on top of these boxes, you can actually look over this archway wall using your wall and peek down into long C if somebody's trying to come get that orb or flank around to maybe a push into B side. You can actually peek down over them, and there's no way they're going to be expecting to be opt from above the archway. So let's move over to Split for our last few spots. So this one is over on the A side up in heaven, and you can actually peek over the roof of the heaven building down into kind of like the short A push area where they're trying to come up the ramp. Again, people might not be expecting this, and you might be able to get a quick pick. Staying over on the A side and the heaven area, you can actually look down ramp through this little bit of geometry, another nice little peek spot that covers your head and people might not be looking for. You can get wall banged through here, but again, if they don't see you, they might not shoot you, giving you the peeker's advantage. Now, if you're attacking A site and you are getting constantly sniped from the heaven area, you can actually peek heaven before you even come around the first corner by putting a wall on top of this box. Mid control is king in split, and so being able to get a quick pick in the mid by peeking over this box is a nice way to push in early. Most people won't expect a Sage and will expect something like a Jet or an Omen to make this kind of play. Speaking of mid control, this is a common corner to hold, but adding a little bit of extra elevation can give you the advantage here and also wall it off so that people can't immediately push up the ramp. Over on the defender side of B, this is a great spot to peek garage from. Gives you cover for the lower half of your body, and while you can get headshotted here fairly easily, it does give you a little bit of a peeker's advantage once again. You can actually go farther back and use more of this front kind of box to cover you and peek through another little geometry window as well. And this is one of my favorite ones. If you're trying to retake B, rotating over from A and you have an op, it can be pretty dangerous because if they have heaven control, it's very easy to get picked off as you come through this doorway. But if you actually elevate yourself using your wall, you get a much better angle into heaven, as you can see the contrast right here without the wall in place. Now, if you're trying to hold B side and looking for rotations from A, this is a great little spot. Nobody's going to be looking this high up the stairs for an opper, and you can even peek over this little metal railing to get an even bigger advantage in terms of the height or even block part of your body. You can also peek below it if you want to by crouching. So let me know what you think about these little sneaky sniper spots down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm really enjoying Valorant, and I will probably be making plenty of more content about it very soon. Thanks for watching, good luck in your games, and we'll see you in another video.